episode of Rattle Can Restorations. It is a dreary Florida day. We have not caught a break in rain all day long. So we're going to come in here and just talk a little bit about, motors, the parts of them. What can you expect when you take a motor apart? This is a 383 big block. If my cameraman comes over here, it's date stamped D383. It's got a code here. I don't remember the breakdown of the code. I did look it up at one time, but from what I found out, this is out of a 65 Plymouth Fury 3. It does have all cast iron. It is a low horsepower motor. It means this car had air conditioning. That's what this teal paint. If it was the high horsepower, it'd be the Hemi orange. I've kind of tore this one down, trying to look at it. I don't know what I'm going to do with this yet. It's been sitting in my garage for about a year now. It's got the fuel pump still on it. I haven't taken it off. It's still got the cam in it, the crank, pistons. I got the cylinder heads down here. I got the intake right here. My nephews actually brought me this motor, and sorry about the audio. This rain will not stop. We catch little breaks. Brought me this motor telling me it was a 318, and I told him I really didn't need another 318 because y'all know I got a bunch of them. But doing my research on this one, this is a 383 big block. As y'all can see, it's a little longer and wider than the normal 318. And you can see the teal paint down here. Need a little light. Get a little light down here. Here's your date codes and all that on it's an LL motor. Because normally the 318s are LA motors. The older ones, not the Magnums. I think the Magnums are still considered LA motors. Not 100% sure. I'm not a big Mopar guy. I've worked on Fords, and I'll throw some pictures up on the Facebook. The Fords that I used to work on 80s, 90s Fords. They're simple, easy, inexpensive. Unless you want to, race them, then they get a little more expensive. This is my garage. I'm not showing you the whole thing because it's a mess right now. We're in the process of cleaning it out. There's a lot of the wife stuff in here, The deal was, she gets the house, I get the garage. It only lasted for about 6 months. I do have an extra dash for my truck. This is the cluster. I'm actually debating on whether or not I'm going to use different gauges. Change this out a little bit. I could put, different, like a radio up here, put the AC down here, put something in here. I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do. But I got this one so I can play with this one and not tear up the one that's in the truck. We do have a new dash pad if I need it, or I can play with it, they paint it, see what it's going to look like. We haven't made up our mind what we're doing with the interior yet, but we are getting there. Stay right there. We do have the door panels out of the newer truck. These are in better shape than mine were, so I will be keeping these. I can show you mine. I should have set everything up a little better since we're going to be inside for this video. Here we go. Oh, wait a minute. That's the other good one. Where's the bad one? Oh, it's over there. Okay. So that's what a good one looks like. Here's a bad one. Now the bad one, you can see the cardboard's falling apart. It's not a hard fix because you can just take the clips off the back, pop all that off, put in new cardboard in the back, recover it, put it back together. But this one is showing a little more wear up top, where this one's going to have to be fixed. I might go ahead and show y'all how to fix these, and change the color of them and stuff like that, and then just keep these for the truck when it gets finished. We do have all the parts to this except for the distributor. I do believe I still have the oil pan. It came to me just a block and a transmission. Transmission was totally garbage, 727. But it was, the oil pan had been off for Lord knows how long, been out in the yard. So I didn't use that one. I kept it for a core, but then I got rid of it because I'm trying to clean up this yard. My yard's a mess with all these projects. Wife's getting on to me a little bit. I got to clean all that up, make it look nice. I just do what I can do. We're really not, I mean, with this weather the way it is, we're really not going to be able to do much today. I just want to kind of show you the differences, you know, what you're looking for when you take a motor apart. This is your harmonic balancer. Okay, some motors are balanced internally, some are not. Here, let's get some light in here. Well, that thing's stuck in there pretty good. Alright, if you look down in here, you see the cam. It still looks in pretty good shape. I have rotated this motor about a year ago. I do keep it oiled. This is oil down here, it's not water. You know, just to keep it in decent shape. These are your cylinders. You always look for that lip right here at the top to see if it needs to be honed. This motor has no lip whatsoever all the way around here. So this is a good motor. It might have been honed already, I don't know. I'm going to take it down to bare block and completely redo it, or I might sell it before then. I'm not sure. It's got little, I don't know what those are for. I guess little reliefs in the pistons. This is a, you know, like I said, complete motor. Dirt daubers have been getting a hold of it because I got dirt dauber nests and dang near every single hole you can find on this thing. It's a southern thing. If it's got a hole, they'll make a nest in it. So y'all know the fuel pump. You take this out, it's got a rod that goes in here. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, there it is right there. There's what hits when the cam turns. It pumps on this, pushes this, gives you your suction on your fuel pump to send fuel to your carburetor. Here's the intake. Now this is not a factory intake. This is an aftermarket. If you want to know what the number is, it's 8008. This is a Wheeling. I'm not sure. I don't use these that much. I normally use Holly or Edelbrock. But this one's complete. It does fit on here. This motor was, like I said, all together when I got it. Cameraman's doing funny stuff back there. I don't know what he's doing. But like I said, you know, like up here we got dirt dauber's nest. We got, you know, all the cylinder, you know, where the bolts go in. I'm trying to get a little more organized. My garage is a mess. This is the tag off the 75 Power Wagon that we will be working on later on. This is the original tag. I found this actually still on the truck after 40 years. Original tag he bought when he bought the truck, and I've had it ever since. You see a Dodge truck up here. That was a toy that my nephew had. My dad bought him. I've had it for 15 years now. You know, I'm kind of sentimental. I like to keep stuff that reminds me of my dad. My dad was a sheriff's officer for the corrections. So I keep his stuff out here. Well, not everything, but I keep little stuff like this. Just to remind me why I do this, because my dad is the one that got me into working on cars. He's the one that started me having changing spark plugs when I was, you know, old enough to stand on a milk crate and reach over the fenders. My uncle is another one that I'm very proud of. He's 90-some years old, still doing better than most at his age. And he's always had old cars, so I always looked up to him because he always had something cool to drive, cool to ride in. I am going to take y'all on a little field trip to go see his collection. He's only got 2 right now, but like I said, he is 92 years old. He's got a 56 Chevrolet, all original, and he's got a 1940 Ford Opera Coupe. He always says it's an Opera Coupe. It's not the business coupe. He's been working on that for as long as I can remember. He's finally got it finished to where he can actually drive it. it is a beautiful car. I do have a cousin that races. He's part of a race team. Don't ask me what race team he is. I have no idea. I'm gonna do some kind of like collaboration. I got a cousin that's working on 64 Impala. You know, so I want to blend in my whole network of people that I know, and you know, do stuff. You know, go over there and watch him put. He's putting airbags on his frame right now, and then he can put his car back on his frame, or the body back on the frame. It's a nice car. He had it when he was 18. He sold it, and 20 years later, the guy sold it back to him. So that was really cool. I do like Batman, and that's one of the kids' toys, because my middle son loves the Hulk. It's not going to be a long video today. I wish I would have done some of this yesterday, but you know, with the holidays and everything, and I didn't get to say, you know, happy Thanksgiving to y'all. I do say thanks, you know, thanks for being here for us. We are going to do like a little Christmas special. I don't know what we're going to do yet, but we're going to figure out something cool, because everybody calls me Santa Claus at work. I'm doing a lot of because I really don't know what to do today. But we're going, in the next couple weeks, we'll be doing this. I'm going to try and get me a bench built out here so I can have area to work on. I got to get my air compressor back working. We can see what we can do with the dashes. See, you know, just show different ways of doing things. If you want, see, some of these dashes have texture in them. Some of them, this is a smooth dash, so it really doesn't have any texture. So sanding it's not a problem. Use a very high grit sandpaper, sand it down just to scuff it, and then you're going to paint it. As you can see out here, my truck's covered up. Was ready for paint, but it's going to be a little bit with the weather it is and the cold and everything. If I can get it in here, would be great. But I got to get my whole family involved so we can get the garage cleaned up, get the trucks in here one at a time. That's my goal at any rate. I want to be able to work on the trucks in here instead of out there, because my knees can't handle that, getting down on the gravel. But a lot of this stuff is going to be thrown away, or you know, moved around. I have another shed out there. We're going to fill it up, and then we'll have more room or area. We'll get better lighting, because I'll drop some lights down over here and over there, so we won't have to use flashlights to see anything. But that's what we're doing this week. Not a lot of nothing, because I did find out what was wrong with the black truck. The one we're working on right now, the black truck has either a bad fuel pump or a fuel filter. So we will be changing those in the next couple of weeks. The bed's not bolted down, so it'll be very easy to pick it up, move it back, change out the pump. We will show y'all that. I did use an older pump that I thought still worked. That's what I get for thinking. But it's going to be a fun time, because I never thought that my truck would be this far ahead in this short a period of time. I do want to do special things. I'm trying to get to that point to where we can, you know, give away some, you know, first people to get t-shirts, you know, because the first people that got on my channel and send me messages and stuff like that, I have one that sends me a message darn near every week. Those are the type of people I want to talk to. I want to conversate with, you know, and I want to send them something, you know, because they're making this possible for me. I'm not making no money. I use old stuff, old tools. This, I don't even remember where I got this thing from. I didn't buy it new. It's had, I think, 2 motors on it. It's just an old engine stand. I got an engine hoist out there. It's in the rain right now. And then I borrowed one from my uncle when we did the cab lift. So it's whatever I have accessible, not that what I can get. That's like this. This is an old torque bar. If anybody knows about torquing bolts, this is the old school version. Yes, I do have the new school, but this was my dad's. It's got a little wobbly handle, so when you tighten it, it, you know, pops out. This needle does move, and my dad said always make sure it's at 0 before you start using it. But I don't trust this thing. I trust either the clickers or the beepers. But that's an old tool. I'll put it on the wall, you know, because it just reminds me of where I came from. Because I was working on cars, you know, pulling motors at 18 years old. So you know, by yourself, you know, especially when you don't know that much about, I mean, you know, fuel, you know, transmission, you know, but there's so much stuff that's involved in pulling a motor out. I mean, even if this motor was complete, this is a heavy motor. This ain't a 302. This is a big block. So these heads, they probably weigh every bit of 25 to 50 pounds. I do have all the rockers and all that stuff. I thought about selling it. I don't know what I'm gonna do, because I'm not gonna put it in one of my trucks, at least not right now. And it's very expensive to beef this thing up the way I want it. It probably 10 to 15,000 to fix it the way I want it. You know, have a hot tank, the whole thing pulled apart, cleaned, new pistons. You know, I got a friend of mine that said you can use these heads, just get them refurbed, and you still get 425 horse. The only problem is, old school 425 horse is old school gas money. I don't have old school gas money. I just recently acquired a 4-cylinder. I actually have 2 of them. One's a pickup truck and one's a SUV. And those are what I drive to work every day because I work 30 minutes away from the house. So I'm not going to drive a V8 back and forth to work. It'd kill me. Why would I even go to work? I'm spending more money in gas than I'll be making in a week. So this will be something, if I find the right car or truck or something to put it in, I'll put it in there. And we did get done with the water thermostat on the mom's car. It was a pickle. It was a pain. It aggravated me so bad. But it did finally come together.
We're going to put that in a Ranchero.
Oh, we're going to put it in a Ranchero. How are you going to put it in a... Man, if Ranchero's Ford. I'll build you a Ford motor. Those are easy. This is expensive. But my cameraman doesn't want a Ranchero. You see here the rain coming down again. It's not getting any slack. It's just constant all day long. That's why we're not out there working on trucks. I got a backup hammer I can put in my mom's car. I got, you know, some more stuff to do to my truck. I need to change some of the wiring. I'm just glad that the wiring that is in my truck, because it's the new cab, does actually work for my truck. I was nervous about that when we were having such a problem with it, trying to get it to stay running. But what I did is I got it running and I sprayed carb cleaner in it. It will run perfectly fine with carb cleaner, so I know it's a fuel issue. Okay, it's not a timing issue. It's not a, you know, it's none of that. It's starting for gas. That's why it's backfiring through the carburetor. So what we're going to have to do is change out the fuel pump, get a new one, and a fuel filter. I'm going to go ahead and change both of them. There ain't no reason to change one without changing another. My son's truck's doing a lot better. It's running a lot better. It actually has power to it now where it didn't have any power. But that's future episodes. We are going to bring the wife's truck in here. This will get cleaned up as soon as I can get it clean. We're going to bring the wife's truck in here and we're going to tear it completely down. We're not doing a frame off or nothing like that, but we're going to, you know, do some welding. I do have a welder around here somewhere. We're going to do some welding. We got to order a fuel tank for it. We're going to do a complete brake job, front and back. We're probably even going to change the brake lines because it has sat for 15 years.